and welcome to this week's markets analysis, where we look into what we're expecting towards the week, and we fairly start off with expected news and news that have things that have happened throughout the weekend. So oftenly I use Forex Factory to get in all my news, and sometimes I use X to follow some important accounts on X that give a preview of what's happening in the financial markets around the world. So, like today's news, we see there is a highlight that NVIDIA CEO Hu Wang announces AI factory deals with LG and Doosan in Seoul, and we'll get into what's this news has caused and what we anticipate from such news. Also, don't forget to check Empire FX, and with CRISPR, you'll get a detailed view of the impacts of such news and the technical and fundamental sides of it. For me, I'll just try to relay what these news uh, impacts on the charts. So this week we are expecting big news from the US. That's the CPI news on June 10th. That's Wednesday. We're having CPI news from the US at 3:30 p.m. And this is majorly covered by CRISPR. So tune in into Empire FX, and you'll get to know what it really means about CPI news. So for those who don't have accounts, you can create your account on empirefx.com, create an account, get yourself verified. Then I'll advise that you try and open um, you should try and open virtual account, a demo account where you can start practicing your trading. That's if you are a beginner. You can start practicing whatever we teach, whatever the company markets analyst says, or you try and put it down on paper through the virtual or the demo accounts on Empire FX. You can also, for those who want to trace their Empire FX spreads, and if there's slippage and their execution times. You can also download the MPFX MT5, connect to your account, your virtual account, try trading for like a week before you can deposit your money and trade with these guys. So far, the experience has been nice. So you should just give it a try, and you'll it'll be a good it'll be a good start for you. So today we see that the whole story on Forex Factory is that Trump says Netanyahu would have to accept a deal with Iran. This comes amid the claims that Israel is hugely spying on American congressmen, and this war is good for Israel and Netanyahu in a way, but it's bad for the US. So I think Trump is trying to get to sign a ceasefire agreement for the end of this war with Iran. So at this point, Trump really wants to, the Trump always chickens out thing tackle. Trump really wants to chicken out of this war, but looks like Israel and Netanyahu want the US to continue striking Iran. Overnight, we just heard some news also. Overnight, we have been we woke up to strikes in Iran. A lot of strikes in Iran. So and also Iran retaliating these strikes. From BRICS news, we can see we see that uh, there were explosions that were reported in Tehran like 4 hours ago, and Israel also confirmed that it actually targeted Iran. And I just saw a handle saying that news coming in is that a petrochemical facility in Iran was targeted and it was blown up. Also, we 2 hours ago, Iran retaliated the earlier strikes by Israel, and it launched a wave of ballistic missiles. Yeah, this is the news that the Iran's Mashhad petrochemical complex was attacked by Israel. So this war, to me, doesn't seem to be over yet. And let's just keep our eyes glued to the news. Then, on matter stocks, we've had Nvidia's CEO just has been in South Korea, that's Seoul, and there's news that he strike some partnership deals with tech companies in Seoul, and this has led to a massive uh, drain for the Kaesong index in South Korea overnight. That even trading on the index had to be stopped. So news also from Apple is that Apple is planning to use NVIDIA powered chips to upgrade its AI, that's Siri. That Apple is fully wants to fully overhaul Siri, and it's expected to that by September this year, that's 2026, that its Siri module will be powered by NVIDIA's Blackwell B200 chips that will be hosted by Google on Google's cloud infrastructure. So on the stock markets, that's for those who trade indices, futures, US 100, US 500, the Dow those two, US 100 mostly because that's where most technology companies are indexed. The prediction markets is that we should be paying close attention, and there's an 85% probability that the conference that's coming on, or that's WWDC 2026 keynote, speaking by Tim Cook, that there'll be an address about Siri. So you see the WWDC event is happening this week, and it is the markets are quite pro Siri being overhauled with the latest announcement that um, Apple really wants to use NVIDIA chips in its latest upgrade of its AI. Also, news coming in from SpaceX. You see, people are expecting the SpaceX, and that's like Elon Musk unveil. They are pushing in for an IPO of SpaceX under the ticker name SPCX, and it will be trading since it's a company, a technology company. The outlook is that SpaceX will be trading under the Nasdaq. That's the top 100 tech companies. So this IPO has really caused a lot of expectations in the markets because you so for one, Elon Musk is seem to be a trillionaire to achieve his trillionaire status once SpaceX is listed or the IPO goes through, and there's a lot of employees in SpaceX that their statuses, their financial statuses are going to be elevated with this IPO listing. The company is also expected to list at like 130, 135 per share, and its valuation, as predicted by analysts, is believed to exceed 1.7 trillion at the opening of the IPO. And this is because Starlink, which is the global satellite internet business and which serves tens of millions of subscribers, has shown that there's a strong recurring revenue. And also Starship, which is also a component of the SpaceX entity, which is a next generation heavy lift rocket, is opening doors to lunar missions. Also, the ambitions of exploring Mars and point-to-point Earth travel for tourism. That's proposition from the SpaceX entity. So, such a set of growing growing ventures and related ventures, including the computational infrastructure that needs to run autonomously, has given investors a strong recurring identity of revenue generation for the company. So, from the market perspective, I think that SpaceX IPO will be uh, an additional liquidity event that will be added to the Nasdaq. And the overall reaction is that we expect Nasdaq to be bullish, so that, like, for example, throughout the week or throughout the month, the Nasdaq is expected to be strong. So investors should be looking at more bullish positions than bearish positions. So this will be a test for the investors' appetite in the long duration and the ambition of companies that are tied to AI and technology. Also, there's news about NVIDIA. NVIDIA. NVIDIA has just struck a partnership with the other companies, AI companies, and Huang Seng, who is the NVIDIA CEO, has been in Korea. Just Jensen Huang Jensen, yeah, you know these Korean names. So uh, the CEO is currently in Korea, and his visit has attracted some attention from the markets and the prediction alike. And the last week, Nvidia dropped, but Wansen gave a speech and said it's time for investors to buy because the future of Nvidia really looks good. So Wansen met SK Group leadership, that's the world's leading producer of high bandwidth memory, which are specialized memory that are used in NVIDIA's AI accelerators. So this relationship between NVIDIA and SK Hynix is not commercial. It's for survival and for the future of AI production. that without SK Hynix, the architectural design of NVIDIA chips will not be sufficient enough in the supply of high bandwidth memory. So this partnership between NVIDIA and SK Hynix um, has been currently formalized and expanded, and they have announced that there will be a multi-layer co-development agreement covering the full range of NVIDIA's next generation platforms, from like those chips that are used in supercomputers, CPUs, and some Spark personal computer systems, and also in chips used in robotics modules. Uh, this means the partnership or the meeting between SK Hynix and NVIDIA CEOs uh, reinforce a pattern that there's a clear future towards AI economy, and that there is also some competition in software development, both software and hardware development. The competition that exists between the two should be coalesced into one. So, and the dominance by NVIDIA in the space is not by accident, by the way. It's because of the decade of sustained investment in software ecosystem and platforms that are dependent on AI chips. These announcements have quite caused a bubble in the Korean stock market, because the semiconductor sell-off has been massive. Like 9% of the stock market in South Korea was sold throughout the weekend, and this initiated closing of the South Korean the Kospi market, the Kospi stock market index. So this fall for the Kospi index actually happened in a single session, and it forced the it forced the existence of a circuit breaker that it temporarily stopped trading. So Samsung and SK Hynix Electronics, the two companies are critical. They are critical to NVIDIA's supply chain. They both fell to close to 10% following this announcement by um, Jensen Huang and SK Hynix CEO. Others were arguing that it's Broadcom's mistake, or Broadcom is to blame for this fall. That it was an immediate catalyst to the Korean event, but I don't think so. It was not. On my side, it wasn't, because it was a guidance miss from Broadcom, which is an American semiconductor infrastructure company. And in its most recent earnings, Broadcom guided for AI chip sales of $16 billion in the coming quarter. This is what they were projecting, and a strong number by any conventional measure, but below the analyst consensus of analysts consenting to 17.2 billion of uh, revenues of sales from Broadcom AI chips in the next quarter. So I don't think that I think there is just a structural vulnerability of the Kospi index that led to this overnight decline in the Kospi index, the 10% decline in a single session. So on Matter CPI news, I think get another session from um, Crispus will highlight it. But what to look out, you look at the expectation, and it's like 2 days from now, where we shall having the consumer price index data for this month. Um, looking at what is driving the current financial markets and economy about energy, the closure of the Hormuz. Now we just saw Israel attacking a petrochemical facility in Iran, geopolitics, and also there's also a dynamic change or a development, a new development on the new Fed chair. We are done with the times of we now have Kevin Wash. We done with the other. We are done with Jerome Powell. So expectations are shifting, and the dynamism also impacts what we are going to look what we are expecting in the coming CPI news. There's also an implication of technology and the growth of assets, the AI thing. You see, there's a lot of talk about AI, NVIDIA, HK, what and Broadcom. So all these are major players in what's going to shape the coming CPI data. So let me try jump into let me try jump into the market, the charts. Um, so this is my chart. I'm trying to set it up. So this is Empire FX um, MT5. Just created my account. I've been given this trade. You can add. You see, we have this is WTI, this is oil, this is Brent oil, this gas, this is the Australian top 100 uh, companies. It's an index. This is the Germany 30. They are cash based. All these are cash based. All these indices on Empire FX are cash based. Dow Jones is cash based. The Euro 50 is cash based. France 40, Hong Kong, Japan. Then we have currency Euro USD, Canada US 100. Let's take 100. Let's remove these ones that we rarely use, we rarely trade. Okay, there's also is 500 space. Okay, there's also gold. There's silver. There's cable, USD, Japanese yen. USD, Swiss franc. What else? Euro USD is there. USD, Australian dollar. Hmm, AUD USD. NZD USD. So that's like most of it, the major ones. So let's see. Let's start with Euro USD. But chart window there. When you want, after opening your charts and having a selection of what you want to trade, like this will be your watch list, what you know you usually trade. But I think for those who more experienced, they know that you are not into trading everything. So you just you just choose and use what you only trade. So if you have more than three, then you know if you're having for example, this is S&P 500 and this is the Nasdaq, you might be using them for to confirm a correlation between the two. Or if you're having GBP USD and USD Euro USD, for example, then you'll be using this as to find correlation between the two. So this is like your market watch, what you want to trade, what you are looking for confirmation, and all that. So up here you have your time frame. We have for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. You can get the entire time frame by right clicking here. Then you see this pop up. Then you find your minutes, your time frame listed here into minutes, into hours, daily, weekly, monthly. So let's customize this chart so that it can be visible and easy to trade with. So you'll right click, get into properties, then you choose your color. So the scheme is most people like white. So let's choose black on white or color on white. The background is white, foreground is black. Leave it at that. The grid, do you like grids? I don't do grids, so I think we'll have none. Bar up, that's the bullish bar. We'll have it as green. You can choose your own color, but let's go with the common one, the green one. And the bar down should be red, the common one. This is maroon, red. A bull candle. The bull candle should be that's going up should be green. The bear candle should be red. Uh, do we need line charts? As for me, I don't need it. Volume, for those who trade volume analysis, you can choose your own color, but I don't trade using that. The bid price line, let it be, we leave it at that. Ask price, uh, let's put maroon. This is the difference between what you're buying and or the point you're selling. Last price, we don't need this, none. Stop levels, none. Okay, so that's we're using candlestick. Remember, we're not using a line chart or a bar chart. We also set our charts to auto scale. Okay, let's see what they should show. They show our ticker. Is the like if you're trading Euro USD, it should show here. If you're trading Nasdaq, it should show here. If you're trading gold, then there should be the name XAGUSD, XAUUSD here. Bid price, quick trading buttons where you can place your trade so quick. There should be somewhere here. We shall open these ones. These are the quick trading buttons. What else? Period separators. I need this to show difference between periods. Grid, no, I don't need grids. Tick volumes, I don't need that. Levels, I need that. Show trade history, yes. So yeah, this is a good. This is now how our chart looks like. This is our chart. So we can save this as a template so that when we open another chart, we don't have to do the same thing over and over again. So we shall save the template as new. So that's it. So when we open gold, for example, a new chart, you see it goes back to default and we don't need to go over the same process again. So we just right click, come to your templates, load a template. Then we saved ours as new. So choose this template, then apply. See that way. So we can open our uh, NASDAQ chart, our S&P 500 chart, our silver chart, cable chart, USD chart, USD CHF chart, AUD USD chart, then NZD chart. Can open our Brent oil chart. Let's see NVIDIA. Yeah. So all this we'll just use our template, load template, new, get a new picture of our chart and a presentable one. New, new. Okay, so here we are. Let's start with Euro USD. So we are looking at a 1 hour time frame. This is last week sell-off on Friday. This was on Friday. This sell-off was on Friday, the 5th June. So let's roll up to a weekly time frame. In this time frame, you know that one candlestick equals to 1 week. So in this, you see, this was last week. There was a massive sell-off uh, in Euro USD, and we have just started a new week, and it actually behaved like it was buying. So let's see, let's find out a perfect pattern for this. Let's see if we can see a pattern for this. The markets accumulated at this point. Then there's a fake out here. Then the markets moved up. Currently, the markets are like accumulating again on a weekly. Um, it's not so clear on a higher time frame where the markets are going because it's moving sideways. So the ultimate judgment will be that the markets are on a higher time frame on a weekly chart, trying to consolidate or accumulate. So let me roll up a bit to daily time frame. A daily time frame, you see that there was a sell-off from February to March, then a buy, then we started a sell-off again mid April. So mhm, uh, we not be expecting a lot of movement today from the Euro USD unless there's some news from for the war because we are having a go slow Monday. So this candle for today could be quite small and trivial to identify its weekly move because this was last Monday. So yeah, this one will give us a direction, but the overall move for me will be that we are moving up with the Euro USD maybe. Let me try and find some drawings, the trend line drawings. So, so this a daily time frame gives us something like this is not a symmetrical triangle. This one looks like a bearish, no, a bullish triangle. Sorry. So we should be waiting for prices to come up to this position, or just like around this position it is, then go back up and a breakout. So let me find my triangle. Shapes triangle. Insert an object shape triangle. One, two. So I was saying this forms like something close to a bullish triangle. There it is. So this is our bullish triangle that I was saying. On a daily time frame, we look at this. We see that it's actually like the bullish triangle been that we just spotted. So this is not a perfect symmetrical triangle, because this looks like it's going up and this one is coming down. So for the Euro USD, I'm looking at buys this week, more buys than sells. For a trader should be, however, be a trader should for an investor or a trader should, however, be ready for any changing market scenarios. So looking at what we're expecting this week, we anticipate that CPI news come in. We anticipate the CPI news coming, and that's on Wednesday. And after that, then we'll see maybe price breakout into from this position, then upwards. Okay, so let's roll out to our 4-hour time frame. on the 4 time frame, I'll be looking at correcting this Friday's sell-off. Now that we are here and we have not broken these lows, I'll be anticipating that markets, the prices try to correct Friday's sell-off, maybe up to uh, half or 0.5 level of the sell-off from last Friday. Oh, so let's look at gold. Gold has started off quite undecided. It bought, then sold a little bit. Then now looks like it's undecided, like very undecided. So for me, for investors, I'd really like investors to take their time and be patient with gold, because gold currently for this week it looks undecided. All the same on the higher time frame, gold looks like so let it load, then I'll show you what I'm looking at. Yeah. So as for me on gold, I think we are having head and shoulder pattern, and gold should be going down at the completion of Trump's peace agreement with Iran. We should be seeing gold targeting these swing lows here, maybe after taking out the swing low. So this would be my gold uh, here. No. So this is my hypothesis for gold with head and shoulder pattern. Now this is our head. This one could be our head. This is our left shoulder, and this is our right shoulder, and here we have our neckline. So currently gold prices are at the neckline, and this is having for those who attended the last session uh, on Saturday, we were taught that the head and shoulder pattern is a reversal pattern. So having it hit our all-time highs with gold, we are looking at a reversal. So we shall be looking for more sells than buys on gold. Remember, this is a tentative analysis. You should not take everything uh, with the surety and seriousness that maybe I'm 100% sure. This is just analysis, but you can see that we are point on. You're spot on with the um, head and shoulder pattern. Also, I'll try and employ a Fibonacci extension to see if really, no, this is an Fibonacci, not extension. So standard no, time frame no, customize extension. I don't see the extension, but it's all right. Maybe if you looked at your if you looked at your trading view, you will see the extension. We'll see how you can use the extension. We'll do that on the next session. So that's about gold. I'll be looking for more sales with gold um, this week than buys. Now that we're in Monday, you should be patient enough and wait for maybe the New York session. Then maybe find a position for the New York session. Or the yeah, if you find a position in London, then well and good. But for me, I'll be waiting for the New York session to take to find positions um, with gold. Now we are in the we just we just entering the London session that's starting in the next 1 minute. This has been the Asian or Tokyo session that has sold on gold. Now let's look at the Nasdaq. Uh, uh, Relatively, it's like almost all assets of had a sold off last Friday, and Nasdaq just hit its all-time highs and made this massive sell-off. We had an order block for the Nasdaq. We had an order block. Yeah, these three uh, red candles are an order block that pushed price to its all-time highs. Then we are back at the order block. So this is on daily time frame, and I was anticipating. Honestly, I was anticipating for Nasdaq to go even higher. That's before this massive sell-off. I was anticipating that Nasdaq goes quite higher from what from my Fibonacci extension tool, but now we are right at point zero of the tool. So I'll be keen enough to wait for today to see how this candle closes today before I can be sure if we are going high or we are going down. But from the technical perspective, um, I'll be quite convinced that we are going higher up because of the SpaceX IPO listing that's coming in this week. Maybe it will correct this massive sell-off that happened last Friday, and then we can be back to our trend of hitting all-time highs. The same can be said about S&P 500 that will be looking for corrective move that can be pushed or will be pushed by the listing or the IPO listing of SpaceX, and news also coming from Nvidia and its partnership with companies from South Korea. GBP USD is almost the same. They are correlated with Euro USD. So on on a 4 hour time frame. Um, sorry, no, weekly. On a weekly time frame, I think we can we can spot, can as well spot the triangle, the bullish triangle that gives us the, is it a pennant here? What am I looking at? No, it's a triangle. Let me insert it. Yeah, looks like this. It's actually on the GBP USD. It looks quite now pronounced. You can see it's a bullish triangle compared to Euro USD. It's not quite pronounced. Compared to this, the GBP USD gives a clear picture of this pronouncement. Also, one can argue that this is looks like a bearish flag, so that this one here is the pole, and these ones here form the flag, so that we are moving down. So it depends on what you're looking at. As for me, I'll be looking at this as a bullish flag. But for most of the guys, you can also look as a bearish flag. Drawing it this way. Let me do away with this triangle and see. Let me highlight what I'm trying to pass across. The shape is a rectangle, so that this is it. So the rectangle should be slanting, should be slanting, should be slanting. So I'll just draw using these trend lines. This is the argument. What one might argue that this looks like bearish flag. It depends on what you're seeing, but you see, patience is the strategy of the game. So you can argue either way, but once you're patient, the truth will just come out, and you'll see what happens. But meanwhile, I'll stick with um, I'll stick with this one being bullish triangle this way, so that we price maybe comes here, then we are targeting higher. We are targeting highs with GBP USD and also Euro USD, because on the Euro USD we don't see much of the we don't see much of the flag. This is USD JPY or 1 hour time frame. So USD JPY just it just corrected. It has fully corrected this sell-off that happened in April, and you see the movements have been quite little on a 4 hour time frame. But lastly, it's about almost it's like 95% of this sell-off that happened in April that has been corrected. So and coming from the news that we are expecting CPI, and somehow Japan has a lot of debt owed to in the US. We can anticipate lower. We can anticipate higher move with the USD JPY. However, I'd advise newbies not to trade USD JPY during these long weeks. These weeks are quite destructive. You see, like this one here is just like a 4 hour trade. You see, you can it's not easy to get trades in such market conditions where wicks and small candles are more forming on a higher time frame. So I'd advise those who are newbies not to enter trades with this currency because it's inconsistent and the rewards might be minimal in the long run. So oil just popped up. It's pushing up and up. This on an 1 hour time frame. Maybe it's responding to the war news in the US, in Iran, sorry, and Israel attacking that petrochemical facility. The expectation is that the market expectation is that um, uh, oil prices are now back to hunting uh, higher highs. You see, we just said this massive new week open gap. Uh, Now that Israel and Iran are at it again, we should be moving higher and higher, targeting these high all-time highs that were made on. Are they really all-time highs? Let me pull out the higher time frames to be sure. Maybe the daily. No, they are not. So the all-time highs were here, but I'm looking at now that we have our daily uh, chart pulled out. I'm looking at us the oil covering this open gap, this weekly open gap that was formed last week. It wasn't covered, so price oil might tap into it and go beyond. Now that we have a new war, uh, another wave of war in Iran, and that's in between Israel and Iran. However, in case Trump and Iran agree that there is a ceasefire, then we should expect price to fall after tapping into this new week open gap, because one of the points of the agenda between the in the deal between the US and Iran is to open the Strait of Hormuz, which has largely allows for shipment of oil and oil products. So once the strait is opened, then the prices of oil will have stabilized, and we'll be looking for lower oil prices. So guys, that's it for today. I'd ask you to tune in every day for market snapshot series, and maybe for market analysis and what we anticipate each and every day on our on Empire FX using Empire FX. So guys, let's meet next time. For now, bye and have a lovely week. Trade safe, and I wish you all the best. Bye bye, guys.